Today's lesson is over section 4.1, association and confounding. So association is when the values of one variable provide information or help you predict the values of another variable. So there's two main variables, explanatory and response. Explanatory is one that we suspect is possibly affecting the response one, and the response one is the one being affected, right? It's being altered or changed because of the explanatory variable. So like explanatory meaning like it explains why this is happening. But there is a third variable called a confounding variable that may like have something to do with the effects of the response variable, and it cannot be like just simply like separated from the explanatory variable. So it's like an in-between variable that is kind of hindering both of the variables and keeping them from being super clear. So for example 1, we're talking about myopia, nearsightedness, and typically from what doctors say, it develops in the childhood years. So recent studies wanted to know if there was an association between like night lights and not having night lights in your room as a child have anything to do with that. So they took a survey of 479 kids and kind of watched them over time, like when they had a night light, darkness, or the room light was on while they were sleeping from the before age 2, and they kind of saw like whether they had nearsightedness or not nearsightedness. And so the table is what their results were. And so the values that the conditional probabilities that we're interested in is being nearsighted, given the child sleeps in the dark, being nearsighted given the child sleeps with a light on, and being nearsighted with given the child slept with the room light on rather than a night light. So based on the values that they've found for the conditional probabilities, children having a light or the room light on overwhelmingly were greater proportion than the other two, but having a night light versus not having anything on also was greater. So what does this say about nearsightedness and whether or not the child slept with some kind of light on? So this may suggest that a child might be more likely to be nearsighted if they sleep with a night light on. Is this a cause and effect? It may be, but it's kind of hard to say for sure to know exactly what is going on. Are they just associated with one another? With the rise in nearsightedness from dark to a night light in children, there could be an association between the two. Kind of suggests that way. Can you suggest another explanation for the higher percentage of nearsightedness in children using room light and night light compared to those with no light? Here, it may be that the children that have nearsightedness are more likely to prefer to have a night light or a light on at night. That's something that they didn't look into, but might be the case. So it just gives us another possibility. That could be like some other variable that we're looking at. So what I'd like you to do, here for example 2, home court disadvantage, talking about the Oklahoma City Thunder sellout crowds and their winning percentage. I want you to go through the 11 steps here in class and kind of walk through the same ideas and see if you can kind of get the gist of explanatory, response, and confounding variables along with association. Once we're in the middle of class, I'll link the answers to the example so you have those, and then I'll talk to you on Friday. Okay? Thanks. Bye.